Namaste, Nicole Farrell here, Kachini Yoga. And just on my morning stroll, today we are strolling the cemetery. This is the rural cemetery and crematory grounds in Worcester, Massachusetts. It's a very old cemetery and very peaceful, lots and lots of trees, great walking path. One thing about the cemetery, it's extremely peaceful. It's a great place for meditation, for walking meditation, strolling meditation, however you refer to it as. And if you think about the cemetery, it's a place where all dreams get buried. Whatever you didn't do during your life cycle goes with you. It seems like every time I come to the cemetery, I get some great ideas. Probably somebody else's shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm not saying that their energy is just hanging out around the cemetery, because usually it's not. But there are lots and lots of ideas, and there's a lot of DNA that's in the ground, and there's a lot of energy that comes out in this space. So every time I leave, I usually have more and more creative ideas, more and more inspiration, more and more, like what do you call those aha moments. So, and it also helps me to stay grounded. It's a very great way for grounding, in that makes you realize that death is just a part of the life cycle. Just is that we encounter death every day. A death of something. We leave homes, we leave jobs, we leave relationships, we leave bad habits behind. We change our diets. We stop doing a lot of things, and that's considered death. It's not. Death is not just about bones, and while it is about bones, but cemeteries are definitely a place to ground and to reflect. So I think I'll flip this around and just allow y'all to enjoy the nice views and the beauty of this space. I can't even tell you how many cemeteries I've toured since I've been here in Massachusetts. That's the one thing. If there's anything that I can say about Massachusetts, they have some absolutely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cemeteries. And so when it's not raining and it's not snowing, I try to get out and see as many of them as possible. So here we go. I guess this is the crematorium, if you can see the pipes up there. Beautiful. Just a very peaceful place to clear your mind, to ground, meditate, and to just put things in perspective about what you have going on with your life. When you can understand the energy and the vibration of death, you really, really do appreciate life so much more. It just puts things in perspective. Puts things in perspective. Yeah. Sometimes I like to go around and find the oldest gravestone and marker to see like just how long this has been here. A lot of these are very difficult to read because they're so old. Especially in this area, there's a lot of battles that went. America doesn't have a lot of battles that happen on their land. But, and I say theirs because it's supposedly we the people. But definitely did have some battles. And this state has a lot of evidence of the battles. Just when you're taking a hike through the woods, you come across old foundations of strongholds and forts. When you're driving down the street, you see old rock walls and where they used to hide behind the walls, you know, in order to take some cover. And it's just a very historical site, the whole state. But the cemetery is where those that fought those battles, those that lived in this space, and those that occupied that space and time have a space for, you know, just respect and appreciation and remembrance. We talk a lot about ancestors, and some people think it's a little bit odd to venerate your ancestors, but it's not putting flags on a grave site or flowers on a grave site, whether it be for Memorial Day or whether it be for the anniversary of their death or their birthday or Mother's Day or something special. Still venerating your ancestors. And it's very, very important. And it's very, very important that we not fear death, and that we not forget that death is a part of our life cycle. You know, everywhere I go, I always try to find the oldest cemeteries and the oldest grave sites. And usually I'll go back and do some Google work, and I'll find out that they were some of the founders of the town or the village or the area that you're in. And a lot of times when you look at the bigger graves, it's a little family here, you'll find that you'll see their names on some of the businesses in the town. Sometimes, you know, most of the time more wealthy, and usually very interesting to go and look them up as well. Especially like in Key West, I noticed that the biggest graves in the cemetery had streets named after them. So tells you a little bit about the town. Cemetery tours, I love cemetery tours, especially in old towns like Key West and New Orleans and places like that, because it gives you the history of the area, and a lot of things go down in between that time frame. I do not know this person or these people, but you see that time frame from the birth date to the death date, that represents their life, the time spent between birth and death. And that is all about what you make. Whatever you make out of your life is what that little dash stands for. That little dash is your life cycle. It is your lifetime, your lifeline. And only you get to determine what that dash stands for. Just a reminder to live each moment to the fullest. Always a reminder to ground. Cemetery is always a reminder to me that underneath all of us is a set of bones, a skeleton. That's why I love death goddesses, because they are so brutally honest with the fact that underneath us all is a set of bones. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So enjoy that timeline, that lifeline, that lifetime line that sits in between the birth date and the death date. The more comfortable that you become with dealing with death, the more that you actually enjoy life. The more time you spend afraid of death, worried about death catching up with you, worried about when it's going to happen, when it's going to take somebody that you love, the less you are able to enjoy your life and enjoy those people that you love, because you're so afraid of death. It's always there. It's in every moment. It's when we breathe. When I breathe in, I'm breathing out what that tree has just breathed out. And when I breathe out, that tree is breathing in what I just breathed out. And it needs it, my out breath, just like I need its out breath. But its out breath, if it were to hold it, is going to cause death. And my out breath, if I were to hold it and never breathe in again, it's going to cause death. So death is a part of everything. Every out breath you're releasing, every in breath you're taking in life. Death is very, very, very normal. I think one of the biggest tricks on humanity was to make them believe that you only get this one life to do everything. And that's not necessarily how it works. It may work for some like that, but most people don't get everything in one lifetime. So, ground, rejoice, respect, rever, appreciate, let it marinate, release, and most of all, love. Don't forget to love. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Y'all have a wonderful day. Namaste.